COVID has obviously radically impacted on the health and well-being of people right around the country. Many families have lost loved ones in tragic circumstances, and many families listening to this debate are in bereavement or in serious grief at the moment. And the country needs to do everything it can to make sure that we reduce the incidence of this illness, that we do our best to make sure that we get the daily figures in this down to single figures, if possible, around the country. But it's really important in a debate like this that we don't forget the other elements within society who have also been radically struggling as a result of this pandemic. And as we approach 1 year of this illness, it's really important to see what's actually happening in real time in communities across the country. I think the first issue to remember at the moment is that there is, and as was said yesterday in committee, a tsunami of non-COVID illness washing across the country currently. Well over 850,000 people are on waiting lists currently for very, very serious health issues. So I'm talking about cancer patients, I'm talking about heart disease, stroke, mental health patients who are struggling to get diagnosis currently, never mind get treatment. And there's no doubt in my mind that as a result of the withholding of treatment and diagnosis to these patients, many families will suffer serious deterioration with regards to their own health, and many will suffer morbidity, and some families will suffer mortality as a result of what's happening in the health service. It's also important, I believe, at this time to look at what's happening in people's lives. The development of children currently into teenagers and adults is being radically stunted. Children have had no ability to socialise, to create friendships, and to develop their personalities with regards to what's happening. The nerves of parents around the country is radically frayed as a result of the lockdowns and the lack of schooling currently. And that's translating into major problems around alcoholism, around domestic abuse, which is imprisoning many women and many families in fear. And I look at, in my own community, older people who are living in constant fear currently. Many of them feel that the remaining years, the clock is running down on the remaining years they have on this planet, and that clock is running down in isolation as well. And the solace and the supports that many generations have depended upon, such as religious services, etc., have been denied to these people. So many people feel a deep level of social isolation and the claustrophobia of lockdown currently, and that's eroding people's mental health in a big way. And I spoke to a volunteer and anti-suicide activist in Galway, in your own county, Alas Concordia, who told me that there is a chilling effect from the sound of helicopters flying over the Corrib at the moment, searching for, I believe there's 4 people being searched for in the Galway city area at the moment. And this has been repeated right through the country. So absolutely, we need to suppress this virus, but we cannot forget about the rest of society. We are in a very dark place as a country, but people must see light at the end of this tunnel.